Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb with you. Chesley McNeil is also in the Storm Tracker Center, and we are tracking these storms as they are moving in. We wanted to do this online update for you right now, as we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect right now, mainly in northwest and west Georgia. I'm going to break those down for you coming up in just a second. As you can see here in Atlanta, we've had a few showers here earlier, nothing going on now, but these storms are just over to the west, and they will be moving into our direction. I want to put this into motion for you. This is a loop for the past 2 hours, and you can see how this has moved from the Birmingham area, or just to the east of Birmingham, about to move into West Georgia here along I-20 in about a 2-hour time frame. So these are moving pretty quickly at about 50 miles an hour. The individual storms are moving at about 60 miles an hour to the north and to the east. Here are the severe thunderstorm warnings. You can see the yellow polygons right here that are up in northwest Georgia now for parts of Catoosa County, also into Whitfield County. We have included in this also Walker County, Chattooga County, northern Floyd County, Gordon County, Bartow County. There's Floyd County as well. And then here's another one that's going through Cleburne and Randolph County, as well as Polk County, Haralson County, and Carroll County as this line is moving in. As the National Weather Service has been issuing these severe thunderstorm warnings, part of the text in that says tornado possible. We have seen some rotation. Chesley's really been analyzing the velocity data that we've seen coming in here and keeping an eye on any of those areas of potential rotation. And if any of those get stronger, they could actually issue some tornado warnings in effect as well. So far, the main thing that we've been seeing with this are really strong winds and heavy rain and thunder and lightning in association with that. These winds have been 60 to 70 miles an hour, thunderstorm winds with that 60 to 70 miles an hour with it. Now, we have reporters all along this line there in West Georgia. We're going to be kind of going to some of them in just a little bit. Nick Sturdivant is one of our reporters. We're waiting to get some video in from him. We're going to be showing this to you in just a minute as they were getting video of the wind as this was moving through that actually damaged a roof of a building in the Rome area. I want to take you live now. Remote 58 is our Rome camera, if we can check that out right now, because it's been very windy, very rainy in the Rome area at this hour. Look at that, folks. Visibility really low, and those flags are blowing like crazy with the strong winds that are in Rome right now. At the bottom of that screen, those are the downtown buildings. We had this kind of tilted up a little bit so you could see those flags blowing as well as the sky, but that is some really heavy rain, very strong winds going through the Rome area right now, where we do have that severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Floyd County, Bartow County, Catoosa County, Chattooga, Gordon, Murray, Walker, and Whitfield until 4:30 this afternoon. Right now we are at 4:10. So this is what you can expect as these storms come into the Atlanta area. We're going to see some really heavy rain and strong winds with this system that is moving through. Let's go back to radar. You can see those warnings there along with this line that's moving through. I'm going to walk you through the timeline in just a second as this is moving into West Georgia. You folks in Haralson County and Carroll County, right there along I-20, this is bearing down on you. It is going to be into Heard County and Troup County in the next little while. Samantha Moore is in the Troup County area near LaGrange. We also have a crew here near Carrollton out I-20. We'll be checking in on them in a little while, as well as Nick Sturdivant in Rome. They we lost their shot from them in Rome. It froze up because of the rain so heavy. They were able to send us the video. Let's take a look at this. This is raw video coming in that I haven't even seen this yet. They were getting video of the heavy rain and wind. Look at that. Okay, did you see that? That was a piece of the roof. There you go. All right, a piece of the roof of that structure there in Rome. We can't tell exactly what that structure is, but you can see the pieces of the roof there blowing off of that in Rome, causing damage. So again, we don't know exactly what that is in the Rome area or the exact location of that and down, but see the pieces of the roof just kind of hanging off right there. They're zooming in just a little bit tighter to that. Okay, now that's falling off of there. So that is an indicator of just how strong these winds are. You don't have to have a tornado to cause damage. You can have just strong thunderstorm winds that can cause damage as well. We are seeing the evidence of that right now. This is a look at it again. If you missed it, okay, look at the trees here. You're going to see pieces of the roof right there blowing off on the right-hand side. All right, they're going to zoom out a little bit. Those pieces still coming off of that roof. And then you'll see a little bit more of that that's going to be hanging off of the roof here in just a second here with this video that's still rolling. We lost the shot. Now, Stephen and Nick are okay, but we lost their shot. It froze up due to the strong winds and heavy rain there. We hope to get back to Nick Sturdivant and Stephen Boise in just a few minutes so that we can find out more about what they're seeing there as it's going through. But that is pretty fierce. Pieces of that roofing going across the street, that can be dangerous as well if it hits people too. There you see it blowing around. So this is some pretty intense stuff that is coming in. We are on with you now because we want you to know that this is moving closer to Atlanta, and we're going to see some strong winds. All along, we've been thinking that the wind threat with this is the biggest threat, talking about 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, thunderstorm force winds. And again, there is still that potential for some tornadoes that could occur as well. I'm going to go to Chesley in just a second. I'm going to have him kind of analyze some of the velocity that he's been seeing, but I want to show you first, we do have a tornado watch that's in effect. This is for really most of North Georgia, and it includes most of Metro Atlanta and down south and west of the city. This is going to be in effect until 9 o'clock. So although we don't have any tornado warnings right now, we have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, and at any time those could turn into tornado warnings if any rotation starts to develop with these systems at all. But this goes as far east as Townsend, Union County, into White County, Hall County, Gwinnett, DeKalb, also into Clayton County, Fayette County, and Coweta, Meriwether County, and on down to the south toward the LaGrange area. That line over toward the west, those are all of the counties that are included in this tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. We've been talking about that severe weather threat area, where we have the level 3 threat, which is the enhanced risk, that tan color. That's actually expanded a little bit to include more of West Georgia now. It pretty much coincides along with that western part of the tornado watch that's in effect. And then the yellow color has also been expanded eastward. That's the level 2 of 5 risk area. That's been expanded more to the east too. So all of us in North Georgia have the potential for severe thunderstorms rolling through. The main threats would be damaging winds, and also there is that potential for tornadoes, even though we do not have any tornado warnings in effect right now for our area. Now, a wind advisory also in effect. We're talking about winds ahead of this system have been very strong. We're not talking about thunderstorm winds here. These are just general winds ahead of this line of storms. We're talking 55 mile an hour wind gusts possible up in parts of North Georgia, 30 to 45 mile an hour winds, or 35 mile an hour wind gusts possible here in Atlanta. But when the storms roll through, I want you to be prepared for the possibility of 60 to 70 mile an hour winds with this. So here's another look at radar. I'm going to take you over to Chesley now. He's been really looking at the velocity with this, and Chesley, that's what we use to see any types of rotations. I'll just zoom into this for you, and you can point out some of those areas that you've been watching really closely along where we have some of those severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. What we're looking at is the winds moving away and toward the radar. Typically moving away would be what you see in the red, moving toward the radar is what you see in the green, and we're looking for that to have some rotation in it so it'll be wrapped around. I'm seeing very broad areas right now. We were watching an area of rotation up here to the far north that slid further off to the north. It had a tornado warning associated with it, but that's up to the far north. We're not really seeing a lot of rotation. We're seeing right here now down through the Rome area, Cedartown, and through Buchanan. But you see this thunderstorm. That's
a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. I'll pop that up for you, Chesley, and you can see it here.
All right, severe thunderstorm warning that includes Carrollton now. You see Carroll and Heard County in this severe thunderstorm warning will last until 5 o'clock. And you're going to see these warnings continue to progress eastward, moving toward the city as these thunderstorms continue to push in. Right now, mainly just moving to the and into our northeast or northwesternmost counties right now. And as Chris stated, the winds associated with these are causing a lot of damage. We got plenty of trees being reported down, especially up in Dade and Walker County where it first moved in, and now we're starting to see that down toward the Rome area. You saw the winds blowing the roof around up there in Rome, up in the Rome area, where our crew is, and so we'll continue to watch that as these storms continue to push in. Not a whole lot of lightning with this. That's one good sign, but if it starts to amplify a little bit, we'll start to see more of that, more energy with the system as it continues to push in. It's right along this line where you see the change in colors where we have the strongest winds. We have severe thunderstorm warnings because those winds are in excess of 60 miles per hour, so that can do a lot of damage. At one point during that video, I did see the power go out and then come back on. So more power outages will be the case as it continues to push through as well. Chris, you had something you...
Yeah, I wanted just to point out on that severe thunderstorm warning that was issued that you just pointed out for Carroll County and also Heard County, as part of the heading with that, they are saying tornado possible. And what they do a lot of times, Chesley, I know you understand this, they'll issue a severe thunderstorm warning. The rotation that you have been watching there on the velocity mode, where it's not as broad or not as tight, but we still see rotation, but it's not strong enough to issue an actual tornado warning. So when they issue these severe thunderstorm warnings, they're also alerting us, hey, but we're seeing some broad rotation, not really tight yet, but it could at any time cause a rotation that would be strong enough for a tornado warning to be issued. So that's what we're watching right now. We also just heard Nick Sturdivant is now back up live with us now. I want to get to Nick first. Nick, I want to make sure that you guys are safe. We just saw your video a few minutes ago of the roof being blown off or damaged on that building there in Rome. How are things looking right now?
Hey, Chris, it was a very scary situation. The best way I can describe the wind that was hitting us is breathtaking. Take a look behind us. This is the building where you saw the video from earlier where the roof blew away, and it looks like light metal or the gutters.
All right, this is the video that Nick's talking about. We'll get his mic situated. I think when we took the video, we lost his mic there, but this is what Nick's talking about. Let me know if he comes back here, but that's what he's talking about, that same building that he was just standing in front of right now in his live shot. This is what it looked like a minute ago when those pieces came off. Y'all just let me know when we get Nick's mic back and we can finish up with him. But
Check.
There we go. I think we have him back now. Nick, you there?
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we lost you there for a second.
You got me, Chris?
We got the video up showing that video from what you saw earlier.
Yeah, right now we're sort of at a lull with the storm. It seemed like by the minute the storm was getting more and more intense, and then we'll hit a lull, and then it'll get intense once again. But again, that building is directly across the street from us. We were setting up for this live shot when the roof or pieces of that roof blew away, and right now we are hunkered down on Martha Berry Boulevard here in Rome, not far from downtown Rome. That building sits beside a gas station. It appears that building may be a bank. Again, I'm just guessing because this is the first time we've really gotten to see, 10 feet ahead of us because it was sheer whiteout conditions with this storm. And again, right now, we're experiencing light rain, and for the most part, we were here all afternoon. This storm was very gradual. It started with wind and then a little bit of rain, and then all of a sudden, we just got hit with an intense wind and rain at the same time. And the amazing part about this storm is that people were actually on the roads as the storm was hitting at full force. So if you're out on the road and you're out and about here in Rome, please be safe, because right now it looks like we're out of the woods as far as the intense part of the storm. But again, it's still raining. There's still some wind out here. And again, we're hunkered down. We're safe, Chris.
Okay, good. Now, I want y'all to stay safe. I'm hoping, Nick, from what I'm seeing on radar, that the worst for you may be over. Still stay there where you are, hunkered down. I don't want y'all to venture over there yet to find out exactly what that building is, but things should be improving for you where you might be able to get out and investigate that, but don't do that yet. Let's wait a little bit longer. I want you guys to stay safe where you are, but things should be getting better based on what I'm seeing on radar. So that's the thing. Let's come back here live with these storms, is that they're moving very quickly. Chesley, do you remember the latest? I'll look on this latest warning here to see how fast the individual storms were moving. They were going to the northeast actually this says east at 40. Earlier we had some storms that were moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. These are moving east at 40. So they'll move through pretty quickly, but they're going to be really fierce as they move through the area. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just came in for Bartow, Cherokee, Fannin, Gilmer, Gordon, Murray, Paulding, Pickens, and Polk. And so what's happening is the National Weather Service is including a lot of counties in this because this entire line of storms contains severe weather. The main threat that we're seeing right now, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and in the text of these warnings, now this last one does not say tornado possible. The one earlier for Carroll and Heard says tornado possible, meaning they are seeing some signs, and Chesley's been kind of watching this on velocity mode as well, of some weak rotation that's not strong enough to issue a tornado warning. However, if that tightens up at any time with these, we can see some rotation tightening up with that. They would then have to issue a tornado warning. So it's just kind of getting us all ready here for that potential that a tornado warning could be issued. Now, the good news is we haven't seen any tornado warnings issued back into Alabama lately. We don't think that our environment is going to be any more conducive for tornado warnings to be issued. However, with this type of system, with the shear that is with this system, the instability is not that impressive. It's the shear with this system that is giving us the threat for those strong winds and also the potential for some of those tornadoes to occur. So I want to get in a little bit tighter. I'll put you into live mode. That latest severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. You can see that leading edge right there. All right, so this was for this Carroll County area down into Heard County. So we're watching this coming out of Cleburne and Randolph. You also have severe thunderstorm warnings there near Wedowee, Roanoke. Really heavy rain coming in and strong winds that'll be moving in with your area. Let's kind of move this up a little bit, and you can still see as the line goes up through Haralson County, Polk County, into Floyd County. That's what just came through Rome that caused that damage that you just saw that we had here. We have also, Chesley just telling me about 4,000 power outages in the Rome area. That's from Georgia Power. So these winds can bring down trees and power lines and cause some of these power outages there. So that next is going to move into, it's moving into Gordon County, also into Whitfield County and Murray County. I want you folks in Bartow County, you are in a severe thunderstorm warning. So what they're doing is they're issuing these warnings ahead of this line. They want everybody to be aware here. Down into Paulding County, as I mentioned, Bartow County, also into Pickens County, Gilmer County, and Fannin County. Murray County, you're in that, Gordon County as well, in these new severe thunderstorm warnings. As this line comes in, you're going to be experiencing that heavy rain and strong winds with these storms that are moving on over to the east. So not here in Atlanta yet, but those storms are going to be moving in a little bit closer. Let's get another look at Rome, the live camera, remote 58, if you guys want to, if y'all can put that in there for me, and we'll see if those winds have died down a little bit. I'm encouraged by Nick's live shot that he mentioned he was in a little bit of a lull. Okay, that still looks pretty strong. Not as intense as it was just a few minutes ago in Rome. Those flags are still blowing pretty hard there, and you can still see the visibility is not that great in Rome with the heavy rain. And this is the look from Nick's camera. Still some heavy rain. You can see how that rain is kind of coming in waves there along the ground and in the distance.
They have dropped the severe thunderstorm warning for that area.
Okay, good. Okay, so they've dropped for Floyd?
Yeah, so Bartow,
Okay.
Floyd, Chattooga, Gordon, Murray, Walker, Whitfield. The severe thunderstorm warning has expired for them.
That is good. So that's great that that's going to expire there. That's perfect. I love hearing that. So that's showing us that this is moving in and out very quickly, and then once it moves out, your severe weather threat is over. We'll have, just some lingering showers back behind it. But the main part of the severe weather that we're concerned about is right along this line that's going to be moving through very quickly into some spots. Still west of Atlanta, so we still have to get that to move through our area in a little bit too. I want to show you a couple of things. Okay, here's another severe thunderstorm. Oh, they're continuing
South, yeah.
the severe thunderstorm warning for Carroll, Haralson, and Polk until 4:45. All right, they were just a little update that they just gave us there. Nothing new with that. I want to show you a couple of the tools that we have here. We look at a lot of things. Okay, this is the CAPE, or Convective Available Potential Energy. That green color that you see ahead of this rain is showing low instability, but it is some, all right? So instability is not too high with this. It's the shear that we're watching. This is the supercell environment. That whitish color and then the yellows show where that supercell environment is higher. And I want to show you something else. This is the significant tornado parameter, actually showing the parameters higher down to the south toward the LaGrange area with higher tornado parameters there, and not too bad here. So we hope that that low tornado parameter thing holds with us and we're not going to see our atmosphere become more conducive. We've been watching helicity with this and how much spin we might have in the atmosphere, and we've been detecting a little bit of that. So that's why we are on guard with these storms that continue to move through our area. Here's another look at the line as it's moving in. You also see the tornado watch. We've talked about that, right? The tornado watch that's in effect. Let me show you the wind advisory as well, where we have the high wind warning in effect for North Georgia, and this is ahead of the storms with some wind gusts, not even thunderstorm winds. We're talking just regular winds that have been gusting to 55 miles an hour. We've had reports of trees down over North Georgia. And then here in Metro Atlanta, those gusts are going to be more like 30 to 35 miles an hour, 25 to 35 miles an hour. But when the storms roll through, those winds are going to be, excuse me, 60 to 70 miles per hour. So we just wanted to do this update. We got that video in. We knew that that would be able to show you the intensity of these storms that we're moving through. So we just wanted to break in for you online to show you what we're watching out there with that new video and just give you an update of what we have going on. Chesley and I are standing by. You don't have anything new, Chesley? Is there anything new you want to add there?
No, just for everybody to be alert. Again, we are in that tornado watch. A watch means that we're watching for the potential for tornadoes. And so far, the history has been some brief spin-ups. Here's the watch right here. You can see that lasting until 9 p.m. The severe thunderstorm warnings have been dropped for Floyd, but still held under that tornado watch. Actually, that's going to be advancing a little bit further over toward the east as we go. The Atlanta metro area, probably within the next hour, maybe hour and a half, is when you'll start to experience some of that heavy rain. The winds will pick up. We've already seen those winds very high ahead of this storm system as it continues to push through. It's right along that main line where we're seeing those winds up to about 60 miles per hour, and that has been enough to knock over trees, even some power outages. Chris told you about 4,000 in the Rome area so
Hey,
far.
Chesley, look at that right there. There's a new tornado warning
Tornado
over in
warning right there.
Alabama.
Okay.
So we want our folks in LaGrange, Troup County, Heard County.
Right in there.
You guys need to watch that.
Even Coweta County, I'll be watching that as well. Now, this is pointed almost up to the north, and so you're talking more toward, let's say, Peachtree City, but that's interesting because you pointed out that down to the south is where it was more conducive for tornadoes to begin to form. So as it continues to advance, we may start to see some energy begin to pick up in these particular areas. So don't let your guard down, even though you're just seeing most of that action up to the north, it's still coming your way.
Yeah, and that doesn't look that impressive on velocity, but the Weather Service, I just clicked over to their warning. It is moving, it is for Chambers and Tallapoosa, Alabama. Those are the counties there, moving northeast at 55. So, you know, Chesley and I are going to be watching this as it moves up northward more toward Heard County, Troup County, maybe into Carroll County a little bit later. You know, we'll keep an eye on that storm to see if that rotation will hold together. So what we're going to do, we're going to stop our coverage right this second. We just wanted to give you this update on what we have going on right now. Chesley and I are here. We're not going anywhere. We are standing by. Our mics are on. Our earpieces are in. Our studio crew is standing by and waiting. So here's the deal. We've got a NFL game starting at 4:30 on NBC. We have a plan to be able to alert people if any tornado warnings are issued. We're going to do a split screen for the game, alert people of the warning, and explain it, tell everybody what's going on. We may be able to dip out of our coverage, and if anybody wants to stay with our coverage, we have the luxury here at 11 Alive. We have two TV stations. We have 11 Alive and we have WATL. So we are able to allow people to still see the game as well as give our weather coverage on WATL and then dip in and out of the game with new information that's coming in if they issue any tornado warnings here in our area. So that's what we're going to be doing during the game. You can also see our coverage on 11alive.com, our 11 Alive app. We also have our coverage on YouTube, on our YouTube channel as well. And we're going to be doing stuff on social media all throughout the day as well. So that's what we're watching right now. We will continue watching this line and that new bit of tornado, that bit of rotation with that tornado warning over the line into Alabama. If a warning is issued for our area, we will break in and let you know. Meanwhile, download our app and you can keep an eye on radar as these storms are moving through the area as well. Stay with us. You see that QR code at the bottom of the screen? You can hold your phone camera up to that QR code, and that will help you download our app as well. And you can track these storms as they're moving in. You can go to the settings to enable alerts on your phone to alert you if any tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings are issued, as well as if we end up in a tornado warning situation and you have to go into a closet or a bathroom or something away from your TV, take the app with you and you can continue to watch our coverage there as well. So you can download that right there, that QR code. Just hold your phone camera up to that and that will help you download the 11 Alive app. All right, guys, we're going to break away for a little bit. We'll be back online, or even on air if any additional or any tornado warnings are issued as these storms move through Atlanta.